and welcome to Saint Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I am your host, Kishma Seri. In this edition, Serenity Park reopens with new additions, and the education sector receives a major investment boost. We begin this recap with the reopening of Serenity Park. The newly renovated space includes major upgrades, including a brand new amphitheater designed to host community events. Roger Lawrence reports.
The government of St. Lucia recently hosted the official relaunch of Serenity Park following extensive renovations. The newly refurbished space now features an amphitheater and other upgraded amenities. Solange Belizier, Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, said the upgrades have transformed the park into a hub for creativity and community.
Serenity Park has long been a sanctuary of tranquility, learning, and a wonderful venue for expression of creativity and community gatherings. In recent years, it has hosted vibrant events like the Junior Jazz Festival, celebrating youth, talent, and bringing us all together in unity and culture. Now, with the addition of this amphitheater, a covered stage, and dedicated performance space, we are elevating the park's role in the cultural heartbeat of our community.
Mayor of Castries, Her Worship Geraldine Lendor Gabriel, said the park provides a venue for creative performances at reduced costs.
We look at the space here, it's not a very large space. But what we have been able to do is to create an environment where our community can meet, our school children can be part of a beautiful environment, and importantly, our artists who crave for a space to perform, a place to express themselves, can actually find a home. What we are doing here today is not just the opening of a park. It is the opening of possibilities. And just thinking about what Serenity Park looks like when we have junior jazz, it's an indication of what can happen when we begin to have more and more events here. What we've done is that we've suddenly brought down the cost of having an event. We've created a stage for the community.
The park's reopening was celebrated with artistic performances by students and local calypsonians. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was attended by the acting Prime Minister, the Honourable Sean Edward, Parliamentary Representative for Castries Central and Minister with Responsibility for Housing and Local Government, the Honourable Richard Frederick, the Ambassador of the Republic of China Taiwan, Her Excellency Nicole Su, along with other dignitaries. From the Government Information Service, Roger Lawrence reporting.
The government of St. Lucia has increased its investment in the education sector for the 2025 academic year. Petula Olabut has the story.
The government of St. Lucia has increased financial subventions in the education sector at the start of the 2025-2026 academic year. In his 2025 back-to-school address, the Minister for Education, Honorable Sean Edward, noted that primary school students, secondary school students, and both temporary and permanent teachers are among the beneficiaries.
We continue to place education at the very center of our agenda, ensuring that every learner from early childhood to adult education has the opportunity to succeed. We are once again providing every Form 1 student with a brand new laptop computer. We have provided every Form 1 student with a $500 bursary. We are paying facility fees for every student in the public primary and secondary schools. We have paid the increased TMA, teaching material allowance, of $1,400 to teachers as a complement to their August salaries.
The country's youngest learners will also benefit Private preschools will receive a $500 increase in their annual grants, while the tuition subsidy for each preschooler per term increased from $50 to $100.
At the foundation, we are investing in early childhood education. While government has traditionally supported public-run centers, private early childhood centers have not benefited in the same way. This year, each private center will receive a grant of $3,000, an increase over last year, and every child enrolled will receive $100 per term, also an increase over last year. This investment will ease the financial burden on families, improve facilities, teaching materials, and most importantly, ensure that our youngest learners enter classrooms and learning spaces better prepared for them to thrive.
And for graduating students, the minister said that government will now cover the cost of a maximum of 4 CXC subjects.
We also recognized that the cost of education can be daunting for many families. To ease this pressure, we are expanding our support for CXC CSEC examinations. We are now adding 2 more subjects, 1 science and 1 foreign language. This means that the Ministry of Education will now cover the cost of a maximum of 4 subjects for Form 5 students. This is an investment not only to reduce financial strain, but also to expand opportunities for success.
Minister Edward encourages students to attend school regularly, be punctual and respectful, and to avoid loitering. He said the Ministry of Education is working with the police to ensure that all students are off the streets within a reasonable time frame after dismissal.
Still to come, an anti-bullying workshop equips St. Lucian's youth with tools for positive change. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The Boys Training Center, in partnership with the Amy Winehouse Foundation, held a workshop on drug awareness and internet bullying. that aims to equip St. Lucia's youth with tools for resilience and positive change. Chevroy Marius has the details.
Energy, creativity, and purpose fill the Human Resource Development Center in Grozily as the Boys Training Center, in partnership with the Amy Winehouse Foundation, brought the curtains down on drug awareness and internet bullying workshop. The closing ceremony, which convened on August 20th, 2025, not only celebrated the remarkable achievements of participants, but also underscored the united resolve to protect St. Lucia's youth and strengthen communities through awareness, empowerment, and support. Amelia Charles Lecter, workshop facilitator and acting program officer at the Substance Abuse Advisory Secretariat in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, highlighted the value of this approach.
The boys were presented with information about substance use and also misuse. And they were engaged in group working activities. One component was the designing of a poster to show the dangers that somebody would experience with substance abuse, and also to design a song. So they wrote up a song and they were able to collaborate and sing it.
Speaking on the awareness outcome, Bridget McNamara, representative of Emmy's Gift to St. Lucia, encouraged participants to carry forward with the lessons learned.
I hope that you are coming away with a knowledge of the dangers of internet bullying, and you are much more aware now of the dangers of drugs, and that this workshop has made you all much more aware.
Samantha Favrier, officer in charge of the Boys Training Center, re-emphasized the importance of continuous support for vulnerable youth.
We know that the vulnerable youth we have in our care, they struggle with substance abuse, some of them. And so it is always important to reinforce over and over. And so we are always delighted when organizations come on board and they assist in trying to get that point across.
Via the partnership of the Boys Training Center and the Amy Winehouse Foundation, the initiative not only empowered participants with practical knowledge, but also inspired them to use creativity and collaboration as tools for resilience and positive change. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Chevroy Marius.
The St. Lucia Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training celebrated its most recent graduates, awarding them with certificates in a range of occupational fields. We have more in this report.
The St. Lucia Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, SLC-TVET, on Friday presented certificates to individuals who had successfully completed competency-based education and training. Recipients included employees of the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, teachers, and individuals from private sector organizations. The graduation recognized trainees certified through the assessment of prior learning in occupational areas such as massage therapy, cake baking and decorating, hair braiding and weaving, general construction, and food preparation and cookery. Also certified were graduates of the Heavy Equipment Academy and the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency's Safer Building Program. Keynote speaker Dr. Delthea Natram, Education Officer with responsibility for TVET, noted the importance of the occasion.
When I read this theme, what came to mind was the word purposeful, the word deliberate. And for a long time, education, we have accepted it that it is useful. We got certified. We have a lot of traditional qualifications. And we kind of got accustomed to it. It's like that old comfortable pair of jeans that you have. But we realize that education needs to be more purposeful. We need to be more deliberate in the design of education. And we are happy to see that TVET offers that sense of purpose and that deliberate design of learning.
The ceremony's theme was Skillful Steps Towards Achieving Success. The training emphasized the ability to demonstrate the relevant competencies in the graduates' chosen occupations or the ability to provide TVET training in real-world settings. Mr. Perry Thomas, Executive Director of SLC TVET, spoke to the increasing value of TVET education and the way in which the structures upholding it are being reinforced.
TVET's prominent role with regard to social inclusion is likely to gain even greater importance well into the future for St. Lucia. As we work towards changing the TVET landscape, working to craft a responsive system, rest assured that the TVET delivery system is being strengthened to ensure responsiveness to the needs of our labor market. In celebrating your achievements, I ask that you find meaningful ways to acknowledge what you have achieved. Reflect on your journey and the hard work you have put in. It will strengthen your motivation and build resilience for achieving or setting future goals. Ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate with youth, the graduates today, as it is crucial. Celebration is a crucial practice in personal development.
The landmark graduation ceremony was attended by senior officials from the Ministry for Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, as well as the Board of Directors of SLC TVET, training institutions including the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and National Skills Development Center, and representatives from the private sector.
Coming up next, St. Lucia makes its mark at Carifesta 15 in Barbados. From Shine Savory's Poetry Slam victory to dazzling cultural performances honoring St. Lucia's traditions and history. Please stay tuned.
Get ready to move, groove, and power up your wellness. On Sunday, September 21st, the Supreme Mini Stadium comes alive for the Caribbean Wellness Day Fun Sports Meet and Mental Health Fair, Health Workers Edition. From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's action, laughter, and inspiration. Tug of war, relays, balloon toss, share competitions, live entertainment, and healthy food demos you can taste. This year, under the theme, Engage, Empower, Elevate, working together to improve health and well-being for all. We unite health workers and communities in the fight against NCDs, diabetes, hypertension, cancer, and more. Bring your energy, bring your family and your friends. Admission is absolutely free. See you there.
Welcome back. St. Lucian spoken word artist Shine Savory nabbed the top spot at what is believed to be the first ever regional poetry slam. Here again is Roger Varro Lawrence.
With fire stick over shoulder.
Poets from across the Caribbean lined up for what is believed to be the first ever Caribbean poetry slam.
They make books for trees, and trees make good meditation, if you know what I mean.
Poets were given 30 minutes to write on the topic, The Answer is in the Trees. Representing St. Lucia was Shine Savory.
Do I adopt these oak trees miles away from the white cliffs of Dover, over those white sandy beaches, the land that gave me birth, who in the eyes of those blue-eyed ancestors had no worth?
The day of the competition, I was not confident at all. I was really worried, I was really scared because I was the only St. Lucian who was competing.
Shine Savory is fairly new to poetry, but in a short time has built a reputation as a gifted spoken word artist.
That banana tree of my family is the very same height as me. That I am the height of my ancestors' aspirations. I am their wildest dreams.
I've only been doing spoken word for about a year and a few months now, so I would consider myself kind of new to doing it.
In Barbados, Shine Savory was able to interact with poets she'd long admired.
Do I stretch correctly when I read? The answer is in the trees.
Some ganja, some busy, a Spanish needle was all I needed.
The topic chosen worked to Savory's advantage. It gave her an opportunity to showcase her ancestry and to pay tribute to family.
And I'm glad I took my father's last name, because if not, I would be another Joseph in St. Lucia. Like being in Barbados and being a Brathwaite, Clark, or Ford. In TNT Guyana, being a Singh, Persod, Rampasad, God.
So the topic was, the answer is in the trees. And I had written something about my own family history and my family tree, and there was this metaphor with an oak tree, and then there was the banana tree and about my ancestry.
The competition was tough. Alexandra Stewart, the representative from Trinidad and Tobago, was the front runner.
When they ask you, how Caribbean poets write these poems in 30 minutes, tell them the answer is in the trees. I go to my grandmother's home, to that banana tree, I pick plantain, in pan it goes, onto the foil with coconut oil. I cut, I eat. It is good to me. It is soft, it is sustenance, it is home. Thank you.
Hailing from the land of doubles, we have Miss Alexandra Stewart.
Just half a point separated the winner from the runner-up, with Shine emerging the winner.
The winner of tonight will pack Regional Poetry Slam is Miss Shine Savory.
And when they announced that I had won, I went on stage and I was literally shaking. That's how shocked I was.
The Caribbean Poetry Slam brought together poets from Barbados, Jamaica, Saint Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, and the Bahamas. From the Government Information Service, Rajvara Lawrence reporting.
St. Lucia's unique cultural heritage and creative talents were also showcased on the regional stage at Carifesta. Rajvara Lawrence tells us more.
It was a who's who on the St. Lucian cultural and creative landscape, entertaining and educating the Carifesta audience. St. Lucia's offering reflected the island's varied cultural influences.
What we bring obviously is that French folk richness that was greatly appreciated by audiences, and like I said, I think that we did a really good representation of that.
St. Lucia performed a range of its cultural dances, with the signature drumming setting the musical tone for the night. Well-known saxophonist Augustin Jab Duplessis was among the featured performers.
To have the opportunity to perform my own music in the tunes of Ogiste and the Polka for Sesen. This was the highlight of my trip.
And in came Kalinago, Calabash, Revolution, Whiplash, her people crossed seas in the crowded and flowed East Calcutta.
Spoken word was a key part of St. Lucia's showcase at Carifesta 15, with Shine Savory setting the bar and winning the Poetry Slam.
These palms found upon goatskin jimbes, neg jine, neg mawon, dancing, war, kutumba.
St. Lucia turned up the energy with soca artist Teddyson John, showcasing the hits that have established St. Lucia firmly on the soca landscape.
The energy, we brought some energy, and I think people, we left something that people can remember.
Carifesta 15 provided St. Lucia with an international platform for its cultural and creative expressions, but also created opportunities for networking among administrators.
And I met quite a few people that either head the cultural development foundations or are second in command. And in speaking with them, they are ready to collaborate beyond the country, beyond the island. I think it can only augur well for us as a nation. It can only augur well for the artistic community.
St. Lucia left a lasting impression on Country Night, with audiences getting an experience that was rich in variety and appeal.
I'm satisfied with the team. I'm satisfied with what CDF was able to pull together.
So I just want to say bravo to Team St. Lucia. You gave a very good account of yourself, and by all indication, the crowds bought into our story. The support was phenomenal, and the feedback was also phenomenal.
St. Lucia has made a strong statement at Carifesta 15, with the island's cultural exponents demonstrating the richness and vibrancy of what makes St. Lucia's culture truly unique. From the Government Information Service, Rajvara Lawrence reporting.
The annual regional celebration of culture and creativity, St. Lucia's masqueraders and poets, showcase the island's unique Christmas traditions and acknowledge the painful legacy of the transatlantic slave trade. We have more details in this report.
Masqueraders brought the uniquely Saint Lucia Christmas tradition to Carifesta 15 in Barbados, engaging the audience up close and personal. Ethan James, who played Papa Jab, appreciated the opportunity to be part of the cultural exchange at Carifesta 15.
It's been such a comforting feeling to be around people with like cultures, and again spreading it and seeing how everybody is accepting ours and learning it whilst we are performing on the go.
Ethan wanted the Caribbean audience to know that the St. Lucian Masquerade is exceptional with its diverse characters.
Our characters, Kabuit, Maria Set, our tea jobs are a lot different than the normal jobs. We don't stand on our 2 feet, we crawl on our ground. Our personalities within the characters itself is totally different from what I see throughout the Caribbean.
Ethan and the St. Lucian cast quickly discovered that their brand of the masquerade was different to what is practiced elsewhere.
The audience reaction today was very mixed. There were some who had light in their eyes the moment we entered the space. They were very accepting. That some of them actually learning the chants as we go. They were able to respond whenever Papa Jah was given the chance. And there were others who were a little disturbed by what they were seeing the boys dripping spit out of their mouth, didn't really connect with a few people.
I'm not here for your silver and
St.
gold.
Lucian poet Ras Isley focused his presentation on the theme of the moment, acknowledging the solemnity of the Brown Beach commemoration of the landing of African slaves after a dreadful Atlantic voyage from Africa.
The poem that I did, African Soul, one of the reasons is the place where we're at is a place where slaves were offloaded when they came from Africa at the Calais base. So in the decolonization of our mind towards the upliftment and the ascension of us as African people, that is one of the reasons why I actually did that poem. Marcus Garvey prophesied it, Selassie manifested, and I Rastafari and I live it.
We strong like Cain. We bend a little bit, but we hold the strength.
Presentations from other CARICOM countries expounded on the theme Saltwater Tongues, We Came by Sea, noting the brutality of the slave trade.
I can't breathe.
Dark and beneath the white light.
Chairman of the Cultural Development Foundation, Darwin Gard, was at the event at Brown Beach, noting the painful and upsetting recollections of a dark period in human history.
It was one of the most authentic experiences, deeply rooted in where we're coming from, our roots.
A story never told from lips that were sold to sweeten a white man's tea.
It just reminded us of who we are and all the connections that we have and that we come from this one place.
The ship. I had never seen anything so big on the water. But my surprise soon turned to fear when I realized the ship was waiting for its cargo. And that cargo was us.
The Carifesta 15 event at Brown Beach paid homage to many who died during and after the transatlantic slave trade. From the Government Information Service, Rojvaro Lawrence reporting.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of Saint Lucia Magazine. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to this production: the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communication officers across various government ministries. Thank you for watching on NTN Channel 122 and for following on the official social media platforms of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Kishma Serie. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue tracking St. Lucia's progress.